What's up, everybody? Savage Bernie here, bringing you a TDM on Mercy. Now, we're back on Gears of War 3 because I want to talk about Gears of War 4, and I felt like Gears of War 3 would be the best place to do so. We've got Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is the newest Gears of War game, but it's not the most recent in the timeline, nor would I say is it the one you would do a direct successor from. So we go back to Gears of War 3. Almost everyone's eager to forget Judgment. I think Judgment has a lot of good points to it, but that is a video for a different time, or when everyone is calmed down about Judgment. So looking forward to Gears of War 4, there was a magazine that had a teaser for their next issue, which would be all about Gears of War 4. Now, in this magazine, they're claiming that Gears of War 4 is going to revolutionize the same way that Gears of War 1 did when it was first released. Now, to understand that, you have to look at exclusive titles. Now, every console has its own exclusives. You've got PlayStation with the Uncharted series and the God of War series, things like that. You've got Xbox with the Halo, Gears of War. You've even got Nintendo with Zelda, Mario, Pokemon. So you get the idea. Every console has its own exclusives that give you a reason to buy that console. Keeping that in mind, you have to understand that when they make the claim that this is going to revolutionize the same way Gears of War 1 revolutionized. Gears of War 1 was a flagship game for the Xbox 360. It helped sell the console. Now, very few times do you see a game that's worthy of being a game that sold a console. There are plenty of good games. But there are very few games that they say, look, if you want this game, you have to get this system. And people go, okay, yeah, sounds good. I know just because of Uncharted 4, I want to get a PS4. And just because of Zelda games and Pokemon games, I get the Nintendo. For them to say that Gears of War 4 is going to revolutionize the gaming industry like Gears of War 1 did, you've got to look at the facts there. They're claiming that it's going to be just as good as a flagship game. Not only that, not only is it going to revolutionize in the way a flagship game would, it has to live up to hype. So Gears of War 1, it set this weird precedent like all first games do. The reason that we have such a nostalgic feeling is because we haven't played anything like that before. By the time we got to Gears of War 3, we knew exactly what we were getting into with the Gears of War franchise. I would even say during Gears of War 2, we knew exactly what we were going to get. A high-action game. Gears of War 3 added story to it. In my opinion, it is a great campaign. Super long, like 2.5 hours of cutscenes, but they wrapped everything up. They put it in a nice little package. And it's a movie campaign. It's one of the few games that I've seen where you take a great story campaign and you put it with a really nice multiplayer mode. So given those two things together, I would say that. Now, Gears has always been highly skill-based. It's a third-person cover-based teamwork shooter. Now, can one person sway a game? Sure, but one person cannot win a game. If it's one person, one really, really good person versus an okay team, the okay team is going to win every time. So this is the claim they're making for Gears of War 4 here, that it's going to be something that revolutionizes in the same way that a game that had no competition and no prior things to live up to, no prior installments to live up to. They're claiming it's going to be just as good. It's going to blow our expectations away in the same manner. And that it's good enough that it'll sell Xbox Ones. That it's a great reason. It's at least solid reasoning to get an Xbox One. Now, I'm not here to say that they're not going to do it. I have full faith in the Coalition. They gave Gears of War UE, and they did it in a great way. But we have to remember they're a small company. They are, while I'm not going to say they're new to this, they're a new company. And therefore, they have to think about things in a different way. Lucky for them, unlike Epic Games, they have the backing of Microsoft, but we also have to think about that. Microsoft isn't going to stake everything on this game, on Gears of War, if they don't think it's going to be profitable, if they don't think it's going to be successful. So whenever people say Gears of War is dead, when people say that Gears of War doesn't have a competitive scene or that the community is toxic, I understand all those arguments, and Gears of War has a lot of flaws. But after everything that this game has been through, after all the waiting, after Judgment, which was maybe not the most successful game that has ever come out in the franchise, there are still believers. Look at this. I'm on a game in 2016. This game came out in 2011, and I can find a game any time of day. There's at least 1,000 people playing TDM at every given moment. Not to mention I can get on Gears of War Ultimate Edition and play. Like, that's amazing. And to think that Microsoft hasn't given up on us yet. So I have high hopes for Gears of War 4, but I don't want them to let me down. So I'm asking you, Microsoft Coalition, don't let us down. Do it. Do it like you can do it, because we know you can. So let me hear your thoughts and your opinions on this. Do you think it's going to be a good game? Are you still skeptical? Are you still hurt from the Gears of War Judgment release? I know a lot of people still don't believe because of something like that. Anyway, guys, I've been Savage Bernie, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Black Widow, baby.